Hello, Ben.
Gosh, Skyrim sure looks different.
It does, doesn't it? Do you know what this
Yeah.
actually is?
No, of course not.
This is Powerwash Simulator. Are you familiar with
Okay.
Powerwash Simulator?
Is this a cleanup detail for nerds?
This is Viscera cleanup detail. Oh, I need to turn that down a little bit because
For
that's a bit loud.
dads?
This is
That's
this
what I.
this is basically yes, but there's a lot less pressure, and there is a multiplayer mode. So actually, you might enjoy this. But it's just
You, you do know what's going to happen, right?
what you're going to really love this, and then we're going to be playing this for the rest of our lives.
We're g- this is going to be the new Viscera cleanup detail. We are going to play this.
You know what? Actually, I don't have any issue with that because the thing about this one is it's quite easy to accomplish the job, and you don't have to do it all in one go. So if we decide we get bored, we can come back to it. But also, you see that little ding that happened there?
Yeah,
That happens every time you finish a section. This is
that's quite
this sorts your
startling.
autism. This is an autism scratching game.
Oh, lovely.
So you actually might like this, and we might both be motivated to do it properly. Not that I've got the old autism.
I have autistic traits.
Yeah, I'm sure I do as well. I
Well,
don't
yeah.
necessarily enjoy the ding. I enjoy the satisfaction of having finished the game, the entire map. It's not the individual things that do it
I
for
mean, the
me.
thing about autism is that a lot of its things are so common in other mental health disorders and whatnot.
Hmm.
But basically, everybody who's got any sort of mental health issue has got autistic traits. I have social anxiety, you know,
True that.
which is an autistic. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Um, yeah.
But yeah, this is a game that you might actually enjoy. And I didn't want to. I'm only doing this one because it's a Halloween themed one, and Halloween is just around the corner. Um, but like I didn't. I went into it intending to do a different one, and I advertised a Halloween one, which was free, and I thought, fuck it, I'll do that. So it's opportune timing. There's Shrek ones. I'm working
Is
my
there
way
weird?
through Shrek levels at the moment, um, including Duloc, which I've cleaned.
Lovely.
Sadly, the information booth thing doesn't play music, but it does open, and you do have to clean it. You have to clean Shrek's home because they've trashed it whilst he's on his honeymoon. You have to clean the honeymoon home that they go to because they trash that whilst they're there. And you have to clean the fairy godmother's what do we call it workshop after that gets
Factory.
trashed. And the last one I believe is the dragon's lair because they're going to rent it out on Lair B&B.
Lair B and B. I ask you.
Every 20% of a map you complete, you get a like a little message thing from whoever it is that you're doing the job for. There's a storyline in the main game, in the base
Hmm.
game. I won't spoil it for you in case we do end up playing it together. But it's genuinely just a fun thing. Now I got through quite a bit of audiobook in our time off because I was playing through this. I did a 40-hour week playing this game as well as my work week, and I was listening to audio. I got through Mark Twain's Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer while we
Oh,
were
there's a man.
gone. While we were
I
taking
do.
that.
I do think. Well, I find this for cleanup detail therapeutic, even though I don't actually complete it. I suspect I would if I completed it. But this might be a goer.
This might well be a goer.
And it's Halloween themed.
Well, this one's Halloween themed. They're not all Halloween themed.
Well, obviously, yeah, I meant this one. Like how last year, was it last year we did this for a cleanup detail Halloween
I think so.
version?
Yeah.
No,
Um,
we were going to do a spoopy game, but I couldn't be asked.
I just want to also, it highlights any of dirty bits that are left to clean. So
That's very handy.
it is. So and then obviously the ding happens. So now I know this entire section. That is 2% of the entire map done. I'm doing that.
Lovely.
No, and on this side, I'm presumably this will be another 2%, give or take. Oh, and I'll tell you what, it also tells you. So if I pause it, apparently this perimeter wall. If I select that, it highlights the perimeter wall. If it keeps flashing until I attack it with my
Lovely.
water, and then when it'll tick it off when I've done it. So it's very easy to find the bits that you've missed, which is lovely. It's a good game. It's a fun game. It's so basic and yet so complicated and yet so awesome at the same time. I love it. I really love it. And it's not because of autism. It's because it's just something I can put on and I can play and I don't have to think too much about it and I can listen to stuff. I was streaming it to the lads at one point because one of them has got the tism real bad. Like, it really scratches the itch for them seeing that ding. And my partner, same thing. Listening to the ding satisfied her in ways that I never can. It just jobs are good.
Well, I don't know if you keep going to the gym.
Well,
You're gonna power washing her services, you dirty beggar.
well, I mean,
You filthy, filthy pervert.
not in the face.
You
Anyway,
depraved sack of shit.
What are you doing that for?
Sorry, I got carried away.
You're not a dominatrix.
No, no, you should have come to me. I'd have done a better job.
No, it wasn't actually doing a bad job. It was underwhelming. She's a lovely woman, and that's probably potentially part of the problem.
There's something very sad in that and underwhelming. I mean, it's one thing if your experience with a sex worker is bad. It's another if it's underwhelming.
You know what it is? I think we started a bit early, which is fine.
On a Wednesday too.
It was Wednesday daytime.
God, that's the least sexy time of the week.
It's hump day though.
Is it?
Yeah, Wednesday's hump
once
day.
you're over. Not for me. I only do 4 days a week.
Yeah, well,
Actually, saying that Wednesday is the most difficult day for me because Monday and Tuesday I'm like back in it. Wednesday the novelty's worn off. Ding. Wednesday the novelty's worn off, and then
yeah.
Thursday's my last day. So yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, it wasn't necessarily a bad experience. It was underwhelming. We started a bit early, and then we finished a bit earlier. If that makes sense.
It was so underwhelming you went back in time.
No, not like that. You know what I mean. You get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
wait, you achieved orgasm before the session had concluded. Is that what you're telling me?
Who said anything about achieving an orgasm?
Well, you said you finished early. Do you just mean?
No, I mean we stopped the session a little earlier than 2 hours, which is why I get a discount if I go again. But I don't think I'm going to go again. I don't think. I don't think it's for me. I think it's one of those things that I thought might be for me. I have found out since that it's not actually for me, and that's fine because now I know. I just wish it was a much less expensive experience to have found out. I also misjudged. I'm fine financially before I say this next bit. I thought my gas bill was next month. Turns out it's this month. So I had the expense of the fun time and then my gas bill on the same month. And that was a bit of a shock to the system. I've done okay, but it's made things a bit more tight than I needed them to be, if you'd excuse the wording on that.
Me.
Yeah. But no happy ending, as it were. But that's probably for the best, because it's awkward anyway, trying to get me to ejaculate. If I know you, if you're a work colleague and you're hearing this, you've probably heard worse from me before at some point, and if not, wait till we get drunk at Christmas, and then you'll hear much worse still. No doubt. Hopefully after the HR lady who is joining us has left.
Yeah, and then everybody will hear this video.
Yeah.
Because it'll be at the inquest.
It will be at the inquest. No, I actually got a phone call from a HR woman at work recently, and she asked how I was, and I genuinely said, well, that depends. A phone call from HR isn't always good. And she laughed, and I laughed, and it was all good fun.
Okay, so we had somebody at work who looked a bit like me.
Okay.
Who was leaving.
Oh, yeah?
And I bumped into the HR lady who had frequently referred to me with their name. So clearly she thought I was them.
Yep, that's not
ideal. And I held the door open for her, and making small talk, she said, "When are you leaving?" And I was aware that she had gotten mixed up, and I was like, "I'm not. What do you mean I'm not leaving?" And she realised her mistake, and I said, "God, it's a bit scary when the head of HR asks, when are you leaving? Or when's your last day?" Which was a little bit amusing, because she'd be annoying me with that. But anyway,
it's not the worst thing in the world to remember someone's fucking name. It shouldn't be that difficult, should it? I had a letter from HR recently, or at least written by HR, about a matter that I can't properly discuss in case a colleague does, in fact, end up watching this. But my name was spelt wrong on it, and when I was shown this letter by one of the managers, I asked if, because my name's wrong, does that mean it's not official? And she was like, "Oh, for God's sake," and highlighted that it wasn't her that had written it. What's particularly annoying though is that my name's on there twice, and the first time it's right, and the second time it's wrong. So like, what the heck, right? What the heck?
Yeah. But yeah, we have a good HR team. We have a good team.
We don't.
Where I work.
We've got a terrible HR team. No, lovely woman, but our HR, we're not good with HR. But she seems nice enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm adding that for the sake of the inquiry.
Yeah, I'd also like to be mentioned.
What, in the inquiry? You're here, Ben, in this video. You're mentioning yourself.
Well,
although I would wish you hadn't raised those allegations about me.
Somebody had to. It was about time.
Actually, I think there's a genuine chance I might be a victim of some sort of sexual harassment at work.
Okay, let's hear it.
Have I told you about it? There's a woman at work who wants me to dress as Santa for Christmas. Right? Not as a Christmas present, just she wants me to dress as Santa during the Christmas time. And it has been suggested that a woman should dress as Santa this year. And this other woman, the one who wants me to dress as it, has said, yes, but I don't know which woman's lap I want to sit on. Implying that she does want to sit specifically on my lap. That's how I read that. I feel like that's a perfectly reasonable way of reading that. I've expressed an uncomfortableness with dressing as Santa, and yet it has come up a few times since. So I may be being sexually harassed, which is not something I ever expected to happen. I don't know about you.
No, I don't know. I can see that.
Did you expect me getting sexually harassed, really?
Yeah.
Realistically, you probably expected me to be the harasser.
No.
Unintentionally.
Well, all right, yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see you saying something or looking, or like licking your lips at somebody and them taking umbrage with that.
I do have difficulty whilst I'm at the gym making sure I don't look somewhere I shouldn't. Like, not because it's difficult not to look somewhere, but because you could be looking somewhere perfectly innocent and then all of a sudden someone stood there and their arse is there or whatever, right? Like, if I'm on the treadmill, the exercise bikes are right in front of the treadmill. And what's the most prominent part of a person you can see if you are behind them or, say, on a bike of some sort?
The butt.
Exactly. Now, you don't have to be looking at their butt. You're just looking ahead, right? But all of a sudden, there's a butt there. Yeah. So...
Well, getting aside from your wandering eyes, would you like a topic?
Yeah, go on then.
Or should we do the big one? Probably the biggest news story to happen since we started.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to work out which one it would be. Let me just cross off.
Well, the biggest one since our minor hiatus through the house moving.
I can't decide if this is the cyclist or the musician.
Oh, the cyclist. Yeah, I wondered who you were talking about. Well, it's the musician.
Okay, so yes, in this case, that will be the apparent suicide of Liam Payne.
Well, I mean, it's up for debate. I take your point. Do you know how I found? I mean, there's no reason why you would. Do you know how I found out about this?
How did you find out about this?
Because it's somewhat amusing.
Was it the 20% off advert for a music store for One Direction music? Because that was a fucking terrible joke.
Oh shit! Jesus, I thought that was just. Oh fuck, that is horrible.
Yeah.
No, I was on Reddit.
Okay.
And I saw a post on the Alan Partridge subreddit. And I don't know how familiar you are with the first season of I'm Alan Partridge.
I don't know.
Have you not seen it?
I watched a Alan Partridge TV show when he was living in a hotel.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I've seen. I think all of that.
Well, okay. Well, there's a line after the guy who cancelled his show dies, who in apparent homage to our old friend Rod Hull.
Yeah.
Was trying to fix the aerial on his roof and fell off.
Ah, yes.
And Alan Partridge being completely uninterested and just at the funeral to make business connections. One of his lines is, "What was he doing on the bloody roof?" And that's how I found out. It was
Oh,
a post that had a picture of the news item, and the title was, "What was he doing on the bloody roof?"
yeah. It's to me. Obviously, it's a terrible tragedy. Blah 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 blah. For me, the most
All
interesting
right,
part
say
of
it like
it.
you mean it.
And for me, I'm despondent towards any celebrity news these days. There's just so fucking much of it, and it's so tedious. And yes, it's a terrible tragedy, but I just don't care. Fucking sue me. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Well,
The thing that caught my eye was the fact that we'd heard from Sharon Osbourne about how the music industry had potentially failed him and all that kind of crap. And it was about a day later, and I thought, I wonder why we haven't heard anything from Simon Cowell. And then 10 minutes later, I got a news alert saying that Simon Cowell had released a statement. And I thought, did I will that into existence? Or.
well, something that was mentioned around all this was that Simon Cowell had done like an interview, maybe a few months or a couple of years ago or something, and he said one of his biggest regrets was that he didn't own the rights to the name One Direction
Oh, wow.
because the band owned them. It's like, I think we've said before, no matter how cutthroat the film industry is, the music industry is a lot worse.
Yeah, it's not good, is it? This was on my list of topics, by the way, just so that you're aware. Because
But
it
it
was
was
such big news.
all over BBC News, wasn't it?
Well, it was a big old story. I remember when I first found out about it by one of the lads talking about it as a this has happened, and I was like, well, no, it can't have happened surely because BBC hasn't done their news alert yet. They're so apparent to do their news alerts all the fucking time, and then about half an hour later they finally did it, and I thought, oh shit.
I went again. Sorry. What did you say?
I said that I first found out about this because one of the lads mentioned it.
Oh,
And the
you and your
B-
lad.
the BBC News alert hadn't come through for about half an hour after, and I was surprised. I didn't think it could have possibly have happened because they would have announced it. I figured it was probably some sort of hoax or misreporting or something. But no, BBC announced it about half an hour later, and yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, I mean it was all over the fucking thing.
What do you feel about his partner saying that they had intended to get married?
I thought it was a bit weird.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit weird.
It's not the thing a partner should say because it sounds a bit.
You told me about a person that you know. I can't go into too much detail because I can't remember where we talked about it. I don't feel like it was in recordings. But there's a person
No.
you know who lost someone, and they came to mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I assume you know who I mean.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's the sort of thing a friend of yours should say.
yeah,
And also, we found in the hotel there was apparently there were prostitutes involved before he died. So
well, and you got all the money in the fucking world. Why wouldn't you?
yeah. I got to see your point. I mean, that was somebody I knew from school whose husband very sadly and very unexpectedly passed away because I think he was about my age.
A
Maybe
tragic
one
tragic
year older.
incident.
Yeah,
And
it was
again,
horrible.
Liam Payne was only 31, so that makes him a year older than we are now.
But she's been. I don't know, man. That's a weird situation. It's she's still posting stuff. She's doing raffles and everything in his name and all sorts of things. And you just sort of look at this and think, is this maybe more about you at this point?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I fully expect you to make my death about you in some way,
Oh God, yeah,
but like that's different because we are business colleagues in a way.
yeah.
This non-profit organisation that we are refusing to let die.
Yeah, it'll chug on for a bit.
Happy Halloween!
Yeah.
I just so you're aware, we are 11% of the way through, and that's taken us 19 minutes. Oh, hang on.
Lovely.
There we go. Yeah, that's coming up, but we're gonna do the outside bits first because it's easier. Oh, the thing you'll love. Oh, I'll have to show you this if we don't finish this one. Because time-wise, I'm not sure we will finish this one. But at the end of it, it also does a stop motion of your cleanup.
Oh.
Yeah. But like in the order that you actually do it. So like you can see your person wandering about as well. Did I tell you it's multiplayer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just think about this, Ben. I think this could actually be a game that we could do. I can't remember how much. I think it cost me like £8 or something when I bought it. I've already got about 70 hours worth of gameplay out of it, and I bought it after we paused our recordings because of your break.
Yeah.
Like I've taken a bit less time recently, but that's because the last level on the campaign was getting a bit. It was a bit long, but it wouldn't be quite so long if there was more people doing it, right? But I'll show you that level. So you can see.
Speaking of Liam Payne, I've just seen something. Michael Burke.
No. Don't know. Who that is.
Oh, he's an old guy. He's an old guy. He's a BBC broadcaster. He's a bit of an arsehole from time to time. He referred to Liam Payne as a drugged up, faded boy band singer.
Yeah, well, you know, it happens to the rest of us. And also to Liam Payne.
No.
Like I say, I'm so despondent towards it all.
I didn't interrupt Newsnight for it. It wasn't. You know, it's horrible the way people are treated by the music industry. And he was so young when he got into it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Ooh.
Well, celebrities, eh?
The other big.
This is Chris Hoy, who it's revealed has got terminal cancer. Can you guess who came to mind when I heard this story?
Lance Armstrong.
It was Lance Armstrong. My immediate thought was, at what point did we find out that Chris Hoy's actually been doping? Which is a horrible thing to think, because there's no reason to believe that he has been.
Well, you see, I knew he was a sportsman, but I couldn't put my finger on what sport it was. Swimming was the only thing that came to mind, and I knew it wasn't that.
Yeah, no, he's a cyclist. Well-decorated cyclist as well. He wears all sorts of fancy stuff while he's...
I could have always clicked on the fucking article and actually read it, but
heck, I didn't need to click on the article because the news alert specifically said cyclist. Yeah, no, that's obviously another sad tragedy, and he's only got a few years left to live apparently. But to be fair, the truth could be said for any of us right now. We could die within a few years for all we know. They say 1 in 8 men have prostate cancer at some point in their lives, Ben. 1 in 8 men are affected by prostate cancer.
Well, thanks for joining this, everybody. If you did,
you might have prostate cancer. How often do you get checked?
I don't.
Well, I don't get checked either. Maybe we should.
No,
are you going to check me? I'll check you.
No.
I wouldn't even know what to look for. Do you have a prostate? I don't know.
I'm pretty. Of course I do. I'm pretty sure I'm all right. Well, I can explain all the issues I have down there.
I could only accurately check one of my testicles. I might have ball cancer. I don't fucking know.
Don't even think about it. There's 1 out of half of us are going to get cancer in our lifetime. That's a horrible, horrible fact. I
thought it was half of us are affected by it. Meaning that we have a family member who gets it, or gets it ourselves. I thought that was the statistic. I mean, semantically, there's not much difference.
Many people get cancer in UK. Right. 1 in 2 will get cancer.
Oh, it's okay. Fair enough.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. Statistically speaking, there's a good chance one of us will get it. I know that's not quite how 1 in 2 works, but I mean, let's be honest.
According to the New Scientist, it's scarier than it sounds.
We could have it right now.
I fucking hope not.
Well, I mean, no offence, but if one of us does, I kind of hope it's you. I'd rather it be you than me. In the nicest way possible.
It's not nice to hear, but I mean, you do have a kid, so I mean, fair enough.
I mean, would you not rather it be me than you?
Yeah, God, yeah.
Exactly. So, like, it's nothing personal. It's just I'd rather not be the one.
He's got a mother. He'll be fine.
He's with her right now, actually.
There you go. You wouldn't even know the difference.
But they're still here. They're still at this end of the country. From what I gather, there's some sort of trouble going on, but I don't ask too much about it in case it looks like I care.
Wait, you mean You mean that relationship built on so shaky a ground might not last?
Yeah, that one.
Ah, shit, I owe someone 50 quid.
Is it me?
No.
Oh, because I could do with 50 quid.
No.
Yeah. And
Well,
he's coming home early as well, rather than it was meant to be at this party I'm going to on Saturday, which has already happened for anyone watching this, doesn't exist. There is no one watching this right now. Yeah,
it
the
might be.
I doubt it.
Weird woman, God bless her.
Oh God, what if that's someone we actually know and they're in disguise?
Is it you? Is that
No,
what
it's
this
not
is?
me. I've got better things to do than make profiles to comment on our videos.
Well,
Jesus,
it's not
Ben.
me.
I know it's not you. You're not a weird
And
woman.
I don't have better things to do.
You've been moving house.
Oh, yeah,
So
fair
you
enough.
got bored, evidently, and now that's why you passed your time.
Well,
Where have I missed on the wall? That's where I've missed on the wall. Okay, so I need to. Oh, we're gonna use something that you've not seen yet. Oh,
um,
scaffolding,
mm,
which I can pick up and move about. Apparently, there we go. Look at that.
lovely. Well, uh, and I do hope she's all right. To be honest,
Oh,
I know.
she's been feeling a bit burdensome while she's been over here. Bless her.
What do you mean?
Well, she's been staying with family, and apparently they've made her feel like she's a bit of a burden.
Yeah.
Which I feel a bit bad for. I did say, well, if there's any consolation, you being at this end of the country for some reason has filled me with some relief. It practically it hasn't changed anything for me. Right, nothing's changed as a result of her being here, as far as I'm concerned. But I do feel somewhat at ease about having him. I mean, he fell out of bed and smashed his head the other day.
They do that, don't they?
Well, exactly. But knowing that if there was any reason that I needed to be involved, the fact that it was just down the road rather than other side of a fucking country sort of helps. It's easy. It's easy to react to stuff if it's nearby.
When I was little, I was staying. The first time I went to Northern Ireland to see my grandparents, I was in bed and my nan was downstairs watching TV and she had a big bang. And she went upstairs and she found me lying on the floor, still fast asleep.
Yeah, he fell asleep again.
Well,
I broke Mum's nose when I was young, and our relationship hasn't been the same since.
I do sometimes think about checking in on her, but I don't know whether she'd like that.
Who, my mum?
No,
Oh,
what's her face?
Nah, I don't think it's for the best.
No,
No, I don't. I really don't.
why not?
Because I don't know if you want to get suckered in. I don't think it's good for you.
No, no. You're right. You're
Like
right. I know
you
what
can
I'm,
you can
I
think
know
what I
I'm
want
like.
about my advice about you and your life, but I think it's a bad idea for you to try and get involved again, even in a friendly, just catch up kind of way. It risks opening a can of worms, and I don't know if you can afford as much therapy as you're going to need. You want to
You know
stop
what?
therapy at some point, right?
I'm, you know, I'm glad we're recording this because I don't often say this, Jordan. I think you might be right.
Yeah, you don't often say that, despite the fact I'm very often right.
I don't have to because you tend to say it for me.
Well, that's because you never fucking say it. I have to say the nice things about me. A lot of the time. You do say nice things about me. You should have heard the
Like-
nice stuff I said about you whilst you were gone.
Really? What did
Yeah.
you say?
I can't remember now, but it's recorded. Fucking go watch it.
Oh, right, okay. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask our one, maybe genuine fan to watch it for me and comment.
Okay, well, I look forward to seeing what it is they write about what I said.
He is never commenting ever again.
Well, not if they heard you call them a weird woman.
Well, I'm sorry. It's very touching. I mean weird in the best possible way, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. We're nearly a fifth of the way through this, Ben.
Are we indeed?
Are we indeed? Yes, we are. Oh look, there we are. 20%.
It's Mary Mackey.
Megan Mogg. Oh no, you mean the person. Sorry.
Mary Mackey 788.
Oh yeah, let's announce our one genuine follower to. Oh, actually, if you are a genuine follower and you're not that person, and you take offence to us saying they're our one genuine follower, fucking interact with us then. Say something to us. Say, hey, yeah, you're awesome, or yeah, you're shit, or whatever. I don't care. Say what you want. Call us all cunts for all I care. Just tell us. Yeah? Engage with us. It's
Not that we're
nice.
desperate or anything.
It's just nice to hear something from someone that isn't just Ben. You know? Like, Ben's alright for the most part, but it's nice to hear from someone else. And I can't tell this to... I can't show my colleagues this, because look at us. Look at what we talk about. In fact, actually, no, don't look at what you talk about, because then if you tell my colleagues about it, I'm in real trouble. I could lose my job over some of the stuff we've said.
Would you like another topic?
Yeah, go on then.
Um,
And I'd like it to be user-submitted.
what?
I'd like it to be a user-submitted topic.
So I started and didn't really continue a podcast
Oh, yeah? Which one?
when I first moved in. It's called The Rest is Entertainment.
Oh, is that the
With
Richard Osman? And what's her
And
face?
the other one, yeah.
It's bad that
I
we
want to
can't
say
remember her.
Miriam. I don't know.
I don't know.
Um,
I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to look this up now.
Yeah, you are.
Although who really cares? Yes, and I can't remember the episode it was, but they mentioned the fact, they asked the question which entertainment thing has made the most money, and by thing I mean book, TV show, stage production, song, album, game,
Movie.
whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think they said it was?
I would say it's probably something like Fortnite.
Marina Hyde. That's not the answer, by the way. Well, they said. Richard Osman said it was the Lion King musical.
Okay. I'm surprised by that.
Well, I don't know whether that's true because there were some comments that suggested other things.
Okay.
Now, I wonder if you can name any of them other than Fortnite.
Oh, Fortnite was on the list, yeah?
Yeah.
The Avengers. Potentially Endgame, which was made fucking bank. Is that on the list?
According to this, the Lion King music. Well, there wasn't really a list. I'm having to look these up. But the Lion King musical has made 8.2 billion.
8.2 billion? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fairly long-running production that's basically always on in the big cities, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, fair point.
Okay, it's popular and it's the sort of thing everybody knows because everybody knows the Lion King. Kids like it. You know, it's got good production values. If you're a tourist, you're probably going to go see the Lion King once or twice. I've seen it. Have you seen it?
No, I've not seen the Lion King. Not the stage thing. I only saw the movie when I was bloody 18. This just doesn't do it for me. I'm not that fussed. I don't care about it. Terrible as it is, it doesn't, you know. Okay, so Endgame I think has only made about 1.3, so that's fine. Are we counting Harry Potter as a thing, or do we have to count individual ones?
I would count that as a franchise.
Okay, so it's
Oh, sorry, I've googled another one of the suggestions that was mentioned in the comments, and it has beaten the Lion King.
God, what was that suggestion?
GTA 5.
Yeah, that would have made fucking bank. Yeah.
GTA 5 has so far it's made $8.6 billion. Another thing that was mentioned by a commenter: World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that would have made fucking tons of money. How much?
Googling now. Oh, even higher.
Go on, how much?
And this is only by 2017.
Yep.
9.23 billion.
Wow.
I don't think we're going to beat that.
No, probably not. Not without going, further, like broadening the horizons a bit.
So I would probably say World of Warcraft.
Hang on.
What?
Entertainment thing.
Yeah.
Disneyland's.
I like your thinking, and I will count it.
I mean, let's be honest. Is the whole
It's
thing
a
not
theme
just one
park.
big piece of entertainment?
Now, are you choosing one theme park?
Disneyland Orlando, the one in Florida, the proper fucking Disneyland.
Okay, well that's the Walt Disney Company. I saw that massive number. I mean, Disneyland Paris makes 343 million a year.
Okay.
Disney World makes 18 million daily.
18 million a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so times that by 365 for a rough yearly amount, and you're
And times
already
it by what? 70?
well. Just do how much it is a year, and tell me that all of a sudden, this decade alone, they'll have made more.
So what's that? 18. Hang on. Where's
So
my calculator?
we're talking more than 3 billion a year, assuming assuming that value is accurate, and it's a consistent, steady flow of that much per day. Like I'm assuming that's an average per day.
18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 365 equals 6 billion.
6 billion a year.
Well, 6.5 billion.
A year. So I'm telling you, Disneyland,
Yeah, you're
absolutely.
probably right. It probably is. Yeah.
I think it's a fair cop.
I
Counting
want
that.
to know this. I don't even know whether this figure exists. Is it? It's Disney World, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not overly clued up on the whole Disney thing. I know one of the lads is in the Paris one at the moment.
Right.
He gets back. Oh no, he got back today. So
How much money has Disneyland made? Okay.
how much?
Well, Disney's quarterly report shows that Disney World and Disneyland collectively earned 5.10 billion in revenues.
Yeah, it's if we're
And
counting entertainment things, I think you have to accept that, and I think that's definitely
I
the
will, because it's a theme park. It counts. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's Disneyland. I can't imagine it's anything else.
it's
I
got to
think
be
you said
that,
that.
hasn't it?
It's been running for a long time. It's hugely popular. Everything's expensive. It makes sense.
Yeah, and people will just keep going, and there's a
But
fucking cult, basically.
yeah, it's been open since 1955. So
It's one
yeah,
hell of a Mickey Mouse business, that.
yeah. Hey,
Did it take you a sec, or were you pausing for dramatic?
I was pausing for comedic effect. Do you know what Mickey Mouse's original name was?
Um, I do know this, but I can't. Mortimer.
Yeah, we have discussed this before. That's what Walt Disney originally called Mickey Mouse Mortimer Mouse, and then his wife was like, "That is fucking stupid. Call it Mickey." I'm sure that's how it went. I know his wife was involved.
And he was a horrible racist.
Incidentally, do you know who owns the largest collection of Disney pornography?
Is it Disney?
It's Disney. Do you know why?
So then
I
no one,
think this is true.
because then it's harder for other people to share it, so it's harder to damage the image.
Well, Disneyland or Walt Disney Corporation, um, has in its contract that anything its animators make while they are under contract for Disney is owned by Disney, regardless of whether it's like for a Disney project. So to counter this, and just because a lot of them are perverts, because they're all artists, there's an awful lot of Disney porn that they put out there. So Disney technically owns all of that.
Wow.
I'm sure that's true. I'm going to Google it.
And that's why you can always watch Elsa getting finger blasted by Olaf. That's disturbing, isn't it? The idea that Olaf might finger blast Elsa. I don't know why I said that. And I don't know why I kind of want to see it. I think it's the way wrong.
I can't find anything verifying that. Might not be true, but I also had a story that there exists perhaps somewhere a film, a porn film of Mickey and Minnie, as drawn by original animators.
I am absolutely sure that probably does exist.
Well, yeah, of course. The story I heard was that it was Walt Disney's birthday party,
Hmm.
and two animators did this as a joke and screened it. And apparently, at first, Walt Disney found it kind of amusing, but then it sort of sunk in, and he was sort of outraged.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Was it because they said something nice about the Jews?
You got a real fucking chip on your shoulder, haven't you? You know about Walt Disney and his
No,
various
it
beliefs.
was he or was he not anti-Semitic?
Well, let's find out. He smoked like a fucking chimney.
Chimneys don't smoke; they just allow. They just have smoke pass through them. They don't do the actual act of smoking.
I mean, he hated unions.
Yeah, well, which major corporation boss doesn't? That's the point. The strike that's been going on across the river for me is still ongoing.
Good. Well, not good, but
What do you
yeah,
mean?
here it is.
Good that the individuals haven't buckled to the demands of the company. Yes, absolutely fantastic.
But also bad that they haven't gotten what they want yet. In 1936, shortly before Walt Disney's 35th birthday, his brother Roy encouraged Disney employees to hold a surprise birthday party for him, to which they agreed. Supposedly, two unknown animators decided that it would be funny if they were to animate a short of Mickey and Minnie Mouse having sex for the party. When the short was shown, Disney responded by feigning laughter, before complimenting the quality of the animation and inquiring as to who had created it. Once the two animators came forward, he immediately fired them and then left the building. It is claimed that he ordered the destruction of all known copies of the animation shortly thereafter. It is unknown if any copies of this short survived after this.
Wow. What a shame for those two people. But it was deemed high enough quality to need destroying.
And they went on to become the fathers of hentai, or whatever it is.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
not.
Pretending that you don't know what it is. No,
No,
it's a Japanese thing, isn't it, hentai? So.
Well, yeah, I don't want to whitewash it. I'm sure it was created by a
Everyone
Japanese
knows it was created by Marty McFly when he went back to 1955.
What?
Hentai was created by Marty McFly.
Was it?
Yeah. Because that's an act of whitewashing, isn't it?
Yeah, that he sort of helps inspire black political aspirations and a song.
Yeah, so anyway.
So Dick.
Shall we have one of my topics?
Yeah, go on.
I assume you've not been watching Taskmaster.
No.
No. Are you familiar with any of the current contestants?
Well, there's Rosie What's-Her-Face.
There's Rosie Jones,
There's the Jack D.
Jack D.
There's the chap with the weird hair.
That doesn't. Oh yeah, does the sports comedy. I can't remember his name, but yeah,
When he's wearing, I've seen him dressed as a cricketer.
yeah.
There's the big guy who used to be a teacher.
That's Greg Davies. He's always in it.
Yeah. Okay, and
Alex Horn as well, who's also always
Yeah.
in it.
there's a woman,
There is another woman, yes, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head.
sexist.
But she's a bit weird, but funny. And then there's also Babatunde,
Babatunde.
who I don't know if you're familiar with.
No.
I'd heard of him. I'd not seen anything of him. This is perhaps my most controversial topic.
Oh God.
I'm struggling with Rosie Jones on it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have anything against the woman. I really don't. I understand that she is a comedian.
He seems delightful. That's such a J. I understand that she's a comedian. A dickish way of putting
No,
that.
no, no. I understand she's a comedian. She's doing a comedy show. It's fine. I get it. She just comes across as being vulgar for the sake of vulgar, a lot of the time.
Well, that's a refreshing take.
And she's like, she'll do something. Okay, so one of the tasks that they had was they needed to push the envelope. Right? They had to push the envelope. And her reaction to that was, effectively, do I need to finger myself on camera? But it's a bit much. And also, the answer to that question is, for most people, no. I should think that shouldn't really be anyone's immediate reaction to being asked to push the envelope. Um, it was a bit weird, and I don't know. I feel how some of these things are time based.
Yeah.
Whoever does things the fastest. I feel like she probably has a bit of a natural disadvantage.
Yeah.
Um, in the group tasks, that therefore means that whoever she's working with has a bit of a disadvantage.
Mm.
Which seems a bit unfair. And
No, I.
she did play the cerebral palsy card in the first episode. Although
Yeah, but it's like
she played it as a is it too early to play the cerebral palsy card? But I mean that is in
Mm.
itself playing the cerebral palsy card.
I mean, it could be a consideration. What I think we've talked about Rosie Jones previously,
We have.
right?
Yep.
And how I think basically what we said was that. But I haven't seen her work. She probably is funny. She's got fans. She seems really sweet and fun, and you sparky, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
But it's obviously with her cerebral palsy, her delivery is much slower, right?
Yep.
And when you've got things like panel shows, which are sort of quick, it doesn't really fit. And this has bugged me for a long time because I can't remember whether I made this point at the time. But it's not just her who's not suited to panel shows. There are other comedians whose delivery doesn't work with it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like Stuart Lee
Yep.
wouldn't necessarily be great on a panel show.
He's more of a monologue guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the sort of meta comedy thing. I don't know.
Charlie Brooker as well does better when it's a scripted piece he can work on, and it does work.
Yes.
He can do panel shows, but it doesn't work quite as well as it.
Yeah,
It is other work.
Nina Conti, who's a ventriloquist, was
God.
on QI. Yeah, which is widely regarded as not one of the best QI guests. That didn't really work. But
No, it didn't.
It's no comment on her one woman.
I think there's a point during it as well when you can
stage.
see that she's realised it's not really working.
Yeah.
But at least she's self-aware enough to have made that note, identified that, right?
Incidentally, do you know Nina Conti performed at a party that was thrown when RuneScape hit 1 million subscribers?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sure it was 1 million or 100,000 or something like that. They hit a milestone and they had a massive party, and Nina Conti performed there.
That's ridiculous.
Of it. Yeah, I only found that out because I listened to an interview with one of the mods. Yeah, I think
I've heard good things about Rosie Jones' dramatic work, her acting. I've heard positive things. I've not seen any, but I've heard good things about it. And maybe that's where her calling is. Acting rather than comedy.
I don't know. I haven't seen her comedy. Not really.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I've not seen her acting. Unless the whole thing's a fucking setup and she's not actually got cerebral palsy. In which case, fucking magnificent acting.
Been a very dedicated social experiment.
Like when Joaquin Phoenix did that 2-year thing where he was like, I'm basically going to demonstrate life of an actor who is no longer an actor. I'm just fucking gonna live homeless or whatever the fuck it was that happened. Did you hear about that?
No.
There was some documentary done for like 2010, and the whole thing was following Joaquin Phoenix, one of his mates, and he was basically acting like he'd gone off the rails completely, and like how everyone was treating him as a result of it, and basically everyone alienated him apart from the guy his mate that was recording this and making this documentary. And because he's a method actor, as a rule, or it's about as close as you get to method acting these days, he really fucking sold it, and everyone thought he'd gone fucking loopy, and they basically gave up on him and were slating him and all that kind of shit. And then 2 years later, there's this fucking documentary about how everyone treats people in that sort of situation, and everyone needs to take a good hard fucking look at themselves. And then nothing changed.
I mean, I do think that I'm on her Wikipedia page, and she talks about experiencing imposter syndrome because she just saw comedians like fast-talking, usually straight white men when she was younger.
Who, Rosie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's a very fair point. I don't think I think anybody can be funny.
Yes, anyone can be funny.
You know, it's just the medium. You know, because the show sort of grinds to a halt,
It
and I
can
hate
do.
saying that. Um, you know,
Like I said, I'm struggling with it. I'm not as excited to watch it as I would normally be. And I feel
I
like there are times when it's clear that the other people on the show are probably a bit just not in the mood for it either. Like she's paired with Jack. I know Jack D's whole thing is that he doesn't give a fuck, right? He's pissed off and he doesn't like it. But
yes, that's his thing. He's miserable.
like he doesn't look miserable. He looks fed up. I know there's not much in it, but there is a difference between those two things, yeah. And I
Yeah,
feel like he seems so fucking just done with it because he's had to deal with it for however long he's been dealing with it while they've been filming and all that, and he just wants it over with now.
that's so sad.
It is, isn't it? And I do feel a bit bad about the whole
It's
thing.
sad for her.
No, I know. That's what I mean. I feel bad about the fact that this is how it comes across, but I sort of get it at the same time. Also, Jack D looks so fucking much like Van Gogh.
So much like what?
Van Gogh.
Does he?
Oh, fucking hell, yes. There's one where they have to make a 3D representation of a piece of art, and he does the Van Gogh self portrait. And I'm telling you, fucking Google it.
Okay.
And you at home, Google it, Mary.
I can't see it.
Well, you should be able to find it. It was a few weeks back now.
Hmm.
Can't find it, or you found it and you disagree?
I can't find it.
Oh, that's a shame. You might have to watch it then. Ah, I fell off.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's sort of their comedy legend or
Yes.
old guard.
Because they always have
Essentially.
one, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes two.
Oh, there it is.
I mean, look at fucking. That's. Have you got the side by side?
I haven't got the side by side.
But you know the piece of art, don't you?
Yeah, I know the piece of art.
And it's just uncanny.
Is it?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it is really.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
He's got like some carpet on his head.
No, but I suppose you're not seeing it in the moment. I don't know. I don't know if you're watching. You're seeing the actual piece of art or not that he did. But like, trust me. In the moment, it's like holy fuck.
I mean, I can recognise. I don't know what the fuck Andy's is.
Guernica, I believe.
Oh right. I mean, Emma is.
Has it got the cow in the corner?
Yeah.
Emma City. That's it. That's her name.
Emma's is Gustav Klimt's Golden Woman or something like that. I know it.
Yeah.
Babatunde is that one of the kids throwing the Molotov.
Yeah. But it's not a Molotov. It's a bunch of flowers.
And Rosie's gone for Andy Warhol soup cans.
It's not Sam Campbell's soup.
All right.
Because Sam Campbell played previously. That was fucking brilliant. But no, the Banksy is flowers. It's not a Molotov.
Oh right.
In the original, it's flowers as well.
Right.
But point is, it's you know what it is, right?
Mm.
All of them were decent. They all got 5 points for that one.
Good.
How long have we been going?
Good.
55 minutes. Oh, I'm working from home tomorrow. So pleased.
I've got therapy tomorrow. I'm so pleased. I think I need it.
I've spent quite a lot of the last 3 weeks in the office. Some of it by choice, some of it by necessity, and I'm it's been a bit quiet this week. After other than the covering bits, it's been a lot quieter than I expected it to be, which means that I've sort of had a bit of time to kill, and I'll be pleased to have some time to kill at home, rather than having to be in the office for it. You know, means I might finish my current audiobook, which I only have a few hours left on.
Lovely. What is it?
Well, I'm listening to the works of Virginia Woolf.
All right.
I'm on.
Are you afraid of her?
No, I'm not afraid of her because she's
Do you know
fucking
who is?
awful.
Is she?
She's fucking awful. Have you ever listened to any of her stuff or read any of her stuff?
No.
It's so depressing.
Well,
It's
I think
no
she killed
wonder
herself,
she did
didn't
kill herself, and it's no fucking wonder she
In the
killed
oven.
herself, mate. I'm gonna level with you. It's everyone's fucking depressed and everyone's fucking miserable. And I'm not joking. Seriously, I'm not entirely sure what happened in the Lighthouse. Even having read what happened in the Lighthouse after the fact, I vaguely get the impression that a bunch of people went to a house, a bunch of people left a house, and people died, and then they went back. And maybe a woman spent a decade painting something. And that's basically the gist of the 5 hours I listened to that fucking story. Maybe longer.
I'm on her Wikipedia page, and I'm amazed that they have her voice.
Yeah, well, it was like the 40s or something she died, wasn't it?
Yeah, I for some reason I associate her with like the 20s more.
Well, that's because that's when like
most prolific, I suppose.
yeah, but no, fucking awful. I keep thinking, should I give up on these stories? And then I'm like, no, I'm so close to finishing now. I'll just finish. The difficult bit or the annoying bit is that at this stage I've got 2 chapters left, but one's over an hour long and the other one's over 2 hours long. So I need to sort of commit myself to an hour or so of listening, because otherwise I'll get lost halfway through the chapter, and it's just so depressing.
Hang on, I do just want to listen to this voice for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, have you read listened to Orlando?
Oh, maybe it's not a complete works thing, because no, I don't think Orlando was in there.
Yes, Orlando. I am familiar with it because I've seen the film.
Okay.
Because we watched it for film studies. It's about a chap called Orlando.
Oh, never guessed that.
Who was a nobleman during the time of Elizabeth I.
Yeah.
And
Does he kill himself?
no, on the contrary, he lives forever. Elizabeth I visits his family estate, and she's so enamoured with him, she commands him to live forever.
Jesus.
And then he turns into a woman.
Of course he does. Oh, I'll say this. She seems very up to date with women's rights and stuff and the women's movement, which makes sense considering it was all fucking happening back then. You know, there was some sort of essay piece. I can't remember what it was called, but it was presented as like a fictional woman's representation on women in fiction, and that was an interesting read. A bit dull at times, but like the perspective on it was interesting. And I was playing this. I was cleaning the Shrek's honeymoon home whilst I was listening to that. So you know I take that seriously. But the thing that I was listening to Mrs. Dalloway, which was the first of the, or Miss Dalloway, or whatever it's called, and it was the first of the stories in the compilation, and it's being read to me because it's easier when you're doing other stuff to have someone read it to you, and there was genuinely half an hour of my life, Ben, in which it was being described, these 3 or 4 different people's perspectives of a plane skywriting, and none of the people knew what the fucking thing was spelling out. It got as far as I think it was Tofke was what the letters had agreed to spell out, which didn't mean anything, right? And it was like it was a half an hour And the trouble is, because it's a shift in perspective, some of it's the same words because that's how there's only so many ways to describe that you've seen something, right? And
Yeah.
it's just, it was just so infuriatingly boring.
Well,
Half an hour, Ben.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't need to be apologising. She does.
I'm apologising to her. Poor
Oh,
Virginia Woolf.
well, for being so fucking dull.
She's been through so much. She killed herself in an oven, man.
Well, I didn't fucking kill her, did I? She's making me want to off myself.
Well, thank you for that literary review.
You're welcome. Honestly, there's not many things where I'm like, just don't go near it. Don't listen to Virginia Woolf stuff. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You've got so much to live for.
Well, speaking of things that aren't nice to read,
Oh, we got another comment.
no, I'm doing a topic. I'm segueing, or was trying to. Did you hear about the Game Freak controversy
No.
or leak? There was a leak
Have they released a
of a load
sex
of
game?
stuff. Well, this leak contained an awful lot of like early design work for various Pokemon, among various other things. There was like the map designers for Gen 5 or 4, I think, which ROM hackers are very pleased about because that will come in handy for their work.
Yeah.
But one of the things that was released was essentially a fan fiction.
Okay.
And the fan fiction was written by a member of the Game Freak team.
Okay, hang on a
Well,
minute.
no,
Hang on.
well,
They didn't have a mill tank in there that they refer to as mummy mill tankers.
no.
Because that would be a little bit funny and absolutely on par with the sort of shit you'd expect these people to fucking do.
I mean, you did cut out there for a second, so I got Mill Tank and then didn't hear much of the rest.
Oh, because mummy mill tankers.
Oh right, yeah.
Because
No.
of the whole mummy milkers thing that people fucking. If you're a woman with big tits, you know, good
No.
luck to you.
Yes, well, no, it's a fan fiction in which Typhlosion gets a young woman or a young girl pregnant.
Of course it does.
Yes, it really put the freak in Game Freak.
Yep.
Yeah. But this was quite a stir in the community.
Yep. I'm sure.
But it's not canon because it's just fan fiction. It was just weird to see. Weird to see, man.
I suppose the important thing to note is that they could, in theory, accidentally put this into a game by having it on someone's computer in the game.
What?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility that a character within the game could write fan fiction about Pokemon, or their own little stories about Pokemon, and that sort of thing accidentally be put in because it was put in as a placeholder and then they forgot to take it out.
Well, I don't think they'd ever acknowledge it.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
But like
still,
3 generations down the line, we're gonna have a character who's like, don't look at my computer. I'm writing Typhlosion stories. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, just, some stuff gets in without it being intended to be in. That's all I'm saying. And Typhlosion semen is definitely on the list.
Well, yeah.
It exploded all over her.
Okay. Have you? Do you want to do a topic?
I don't have that many left. Virginia Woolf.
How
Those
many
two
have
go
you got
together. I've only got 3, and one of them's F1.
All right. Well, do you want me to do some? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, you do yours.
Right. I've some terrible news coming out of Brazil recently.
Lots of some politicians dying and stuff.
Well, no. Although, yes. This town had it was a regular thing they did, where the veterinary surgery put on a little, not a show exactly, but they had a day for the kids. Right, so the kids come and see all the cute animals, lovely stuff. One kid had a weird moment.
Yeah.
He killed 20 rabbits and 3 guinea pigs.
Damien, this is all for you.
He he climbed the fence. There's CCTV footage of it.
Yeah.
And he climbed the fence where they were being stored and just sort of went to town on them.
I want to tend the rabbits.
It was quite a massive 20. Imagine a child. Could Henry kill 20 rabbits and 3 guinea pigs?
Oh, I don't think he'd have the balls. I got a message whilst we were recording. Um, I just asked Henry if he wanted to call you, and he said no because he wants to save all his cuteness up for Saturday. Was a message I received. I don't think he could murder a rabbit. I don't think he's got it in him. In the nicest possible way.
Well,
I could murder a
make a
rabbit. I could.
Yeah.
I could absolutely murder a rabbit. They're
I
fucking
couldn't.
tasty.
I'm too good a man to do something like that.
Well,
I'm trying.
I'm enough of a man that I could. So take that how
Well,
you will.
I would cuddle the bunny.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying I'd enjoy it. Just to be clear. I'm
If
just
I
saying
had to, I could flick a switch and just do it.
Oh, I
if
could.
I
I could
had-
strangle it. I could strangle my cat some fucking days.
But I shouldn't do it.
Oh no, you shouldn't do it. You should do a lot of things.
I wouldn't do it.
Do you
Can't
just
do it.
do you just not do things because you shouldn't do them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'll bear that in mind when you're potentially on the news for having murdered or worse.
20 rabbits and 3 guinea pigs.
Just did he? I'm assuming he was just strangling them or something.
No, he was throwing them against all sorts.
Oh, okay.
When I say he went to town, he fucking went to town, that kid.
He didn't have a gun or anything.
No, he was just grabbing them, bashing them, stomping.
Speaking of going to town.
Yeah.
Fuck. There was some for lack of a better way of phrasing this, cunnilingus jokes at work today.
He's Louise,
Would you like to hear the general gist?
so to speak. Yeah, go on.
I love a good muffin. Was the opening jibe, as it were?
Yeah.
Because someone had brought in some muffins, and obviously we all know what muffin sounds like. So yes, I love a good muffin. And then, oh, do you really? He said, yeah, I really love to. I love to just really dive in there and get into it, and I'm sure it's appreciated, and oh, it always is. And that was a general end of that one. But you know, there were some genuine Orville performed on a woman based jokes in the office today, and that was probably the highlight of my day.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, it was all right. It was a laugh. There's a bit over here that we've missed. I say we've missed, and I can't for the life of me work out where it is to get it. Oh well, never mind. I'm now stuck. There we go. How long have we been going? Hour and 8. We're not going to get this done tonight, I don't think. It's a shame. But it is what it is. I'll have to finish it in my own time. I assume you're still there.
Yeah.
So yeah, kid went to town on a bunch of rabbits.
Not in a bad way. Although in a bad way. Not, when I say that, he killed him. He didn't touch him up.
Well, no, of course. I know what you meant.
Good. I just want that clarified.
We made it absolutely clear that it was murder.
It was violent in nature, like death-wise.
Yeah, because I mean you could violently touch something up as well.
But
you shouldn't.
Do you want another quickie?
Oh Ben, I don't know if you've got a quickie in you.
Quick one.
I don't know if you last long enough for it count as a quickie.
Shut up.
I don't know what you're like.
Really?
No, I don't. What do you think? I hear fucking stories from people about it.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
I
really?
Don't.
All right.
I don't know what your prowess is like. I assume you're inferior to me, but that's because I should think most people are inferior to me in their bedroom. I'm a competent and attentive lover. I'm difficult to beat.
Well, look, I have certain natural advantages. Let's put it like that. Anyway, Shirley Bassey.
A lengthy tongue.
Shirley Bassey.
Go on.
She sold her jewellery.
I think he means he's got a big cock. Anyway, Shirley
She
Bassey sold
sold.
her jewellery.
Yes.
Okay,
Uh,
good for her. Is she on hard
and
times?
apparently it. Would you care to imagine what it sold for collectively?
Less than Disney makes in a day.
Yeah.
Go on, how much?
2.2 million euros,
That's
which is
not a massive
1.8
amount.
million, 1.8 million pounds. Well, that's what I thought.
Is she? Is she? I mean, it depends how much there is, I suppose. If there's like four
Well,
rings and a necklace, that's quite a lot. But if it's like 1,000 items there,
the thing that caught my eye was the opener of this BBC article,
yeah,
which was that it had smashed a world record.
okay. For how desperate a celebrity can be to get some money.
Well, no.
I mean, why has she
And
sold it? What's the reasoning?
hang on.
She must be strapped for cash. It's as simple as that. And how?
Desperate.
Why is she strapped for cash?
I don't fucking know. Okay. Okay, there's a disclaimer on this article. This article was updated on 18th of October to remove the line with proceeds going to Dame Shirley's chosen charities. Well,
Oh.
this is the information provided at the time. The BBC was subsequently informed by Auction House Sotheby's that this was not the case.
Okay. So she's a bit skint.
Well, I don't know how much you know about famous women jewellery auctions,
Not a massive amount because it's not a niche interest of mine, funnily enough.
but it's one of my weird little bisexual things that I'm into.
Oh my god, are you just coming out on camera?
Well, you knew that.
I knew that. I don't know if Mary Mackey fucking knew, do I?
You know.
That's
I
right,
don't-
Mary. You might not be Ben's type.
Yeah,
Oh, did I tell you
feel
that
it.
I've decided that I'm actually pan rather than bi?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not really bi actually. I'm just me. Yeah, we talked about this. We talked about label.
I couldn't remember if we did or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is horse shit. I knew I was right, and it's not a world record in that regard. It must be a world record for something. There were two jewelry auctions that really stood out to me, right, when I heard that, and
Okay.
thought, okay, these two must have made more.
Because you have an encyclopedic knowledge of celebrity jewelry auctions. Go on, carry
No,
on.
it's just these are two that I'm familiar with. One of them was Wallace Simpson,
Okay.
right, and the other one was Elizabeth Taylor,
Okay.
right.
God, this must be what it's like when I talk about Formula One.
Now I'm trying to find the numbers for the Wallace Simpson. Okay, all right. Okay, well, one of her bracelets, Wallace Simpson's bracelet, sold for 4.5 million. It's a
Okay.
lovely. It's the Panther one, the onyx and diamond Panther.
Oh yes,
bracelet.
I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah.
There's not a week
Elizabeth-
goes by that I don't wish I owned it myself. Oh, how I would prance around in the nude wearing just this bracelet, and say,
Wow.
"Oh, I'm a fancy duck, aren't I?" Quack
You
quack.
would, Noel. You absolutely would.
I probably would.
Um,
I'm naked
the-
now.
Ugh. Yeah, Elizabeth Taylor. You done?
No, I'm done. Yeah, that's the point at which you got disgusted by the idea of me naked. Not me being naked and prancing around wearing nothing but a bracelet. The fact that I'm actually naked now.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. It's been warm. I've not even got the heating on. It's been warm.
Not been
I've been
warm.
I've been warm. Okay.
It's fucking October. Why are you warm?
I don't know. Probably because I've been working out. I was on the exercise bike when you messaged me to say give me 10 minutes. I got off the exercise bike about 30 seconds before you said I'm ready when you are, which is why I was so ready. I was drying myself off with a towel because I was so fucking drenched with sweat.
You're such a clown. Anyway, Elizabeth Taylor's sold for, would you care to guess? In dollars?
6.9.
This was after she died, so this was
So
basically
she didn't get the
everything.
money then.
No.
12.4.
A charity did. Her aid charity did. No. 115,932,000.
What's that adjusted for inflation?
A bit more.
Oh, okay.
One of the things that sold was a pearl necklace.
Oh yeah. I bet. I bet a
that
lot
had
of
been
people would
owned
love to say give a pearl necklace to Elizabeth Taylor, wouldn't they?
that had been owned by
Are you familiar with that
Mary.
euphemism?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Jesus Christ, I wasn't.
Well,
I'm not living under. I know I'm not exactly swimming in it, but I'm not an
you
idiot.
don't want to be swimming in it, mate. You'll get syphilis.
What? You, you said that before you thought about it.
No, no, I'm happy with what I said.
Are you?
Yeah,
You're happy with it, are you? Happy is the word you want to go
I'm
with.
I'm happy with the phrase. You don't want to be swimming in it. You'll get syphilis. When what we're talking
Okay.
about is a necklace made out of cum, Ben. You don't want to be swimming in that much cum. You will get sick.
Yes, it's called the La Peregrina Pearl,
The amount of sheer number of people you'd need to get involved.
and it was owned by Spanish monarchs, and I believe it was a gift given to Mary the First, which is quite something. Richard Burton bought it for her,
Oh yeah.
$37,000. She had it 5 minutes, and the dog started eating it.
Okay.
It fell out the necklace, and she heard crunching noises.
Jesus Christ.
And she looked over at one of her puppies and thought, hang on, we don't give bones to the puppies. And mercifully, it wasn't scratched. But, apparently it wasn't owned by Mary the First. That's a bit annoying. Richard Burton looked for portraits of Mary the First wearing it. But it was first recorded in 1579, which is 21 years after she died.
All he could find were, in fact, pictures of fan fiction pictures of her having been drawn by James Cameron
Yeah.
wearing it.
Okay, not as strong. Not as strong. It sold for 11 million.
No, because he did the portrait from Titanic, didn't he? He did the drawing of Kate Winslet.
Bit of a stretch.
No, but he
yeah.
did, didn't he?
Okay.
He did. Don't fucking okay me.
All
You fucking.
right,
He did the famous drawing.
Yes, he did. It's his hands, the pervert.
Yeah. He just
He
wanted
should
to
stop making. He should just piss off under the ocean and just do that for forever. Does anybody give a shit about Avatar?
I mean, he probably does still.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that record. That's weird to me. It doesn't. It doesn't even say what the record was.
Well, you know, that's disappointing, isn't it?
Which is insane.
Shoddy
I tell you
reporting.
though, she's looking bloody good for 87.
Is she really?
She is.
Well, I will take your word for it.
I remember watching a countdown of like every Bond song ranked, right?
Okay.
And obviously Gold. We've talked about this before, I'm sure, but Goldfinger won.
Yeah.
And I remember all the talking heads like tactfully tiptoeing around the fact that she's a bit of a pain in the arse to work with, and they were going, "Oh well, you know, she knows what she likes, and you know, she'll tell you if something's wrong, and she doesn't mince her words." And one guy was like, "She can be a real shit," and that's always stuck with me.
Yeah.
This guy is like, "Yeah, she's a pain. She can be a real shit." Yeah.
Well, it's important to not mince your words, is it?
I mean, she's earned the right. Frankly, I'm kind of all right with people who are that talented and prolific in their craft being a bit of a twat.
So
Or being a bit.
you wouldn't mind the arrogance of, say, Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen then?
No, I'd probably cede that to them, to be honest. They're bloody good at what they do.
Yeah, so lots of people give Lewis Hamilton flack for being a bit cocky sometimes, but he is, technically speaking, the most decorated Formula One racing driver of all time. He's won more races than Michael Schumacher, and the pair of them both have the joint most number of championships. So he's, I would say, the most decorated. It's probably somehow technically inaccurate, but it's accurate enough for my liking. And sometimes people think he's a bit cocky.
Every now and then you'll see something that basically says, "Oh, the president is this president had an ego," and it's like, well, it's the most powerful man on the planet. You know, of course, the president has an ego.
Do you know whose presidential diplomacy I miss?
George Bush Senior.
No, actually, Ronald Reagan.
Ugh.
No. Lots of faults with Reagan, from what I understand. but you can't deny the success that he had with Gorbachev. The pair of them together, they actually fucking made progress, didn't they?
Did they?
I'd
In
say
a
so.
sense,
Yeah.
on one of them made progress. You know, that was just. I mean, that wasn't diplomacy. That was the increase armaments. The
Well,
Americans.
well no, they would
They,
they uh, brought about the yeah disarmament. The pair of them.
well,
They reduced the number
the,
of nuclear weapons that both nations had over the course of the presidency.
the Americans outspent the Russians or the Soviets on military spending, and Gorbachev saw the writing on the wall. That's how that went. Look, I hate so much about Ronald Reagan,
And as
so
you're
much.
entitled to.
But I will say two things. One, he was one fucking charismatic motherfucker. I
Yep.
mean, if you
Well, the
you go
actor.
and you yeah, you go and you see those debates where he's up against Walter Mondale, and because he was getting on a bit, and there were questions about whether he was too old to be president and things like that, and he said, "I want to stay right off the bat. I will not make age an issue in this campaign. I will not exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience." And Walter Mondale's like 60. He's like 10 years younger
Hmm.
than Reagan. And even Walter Mondale cracked a smile. He was frustratingly charismatic. And second, he looked presidential. You there?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. He looked like a president in the same way that like Kennedy looked like a president, and I assume Washington must have looked like a president. You know,
Mm.
I'll give him both of those, but very little more because Ronald Reagan was not. He wasn't a good president because he wasn't really doing the job. He had a few things that interested him, like he was really big on that Star Wars thing with the
Yeah.
satellites in space that basically everybody pointed out would be a fucking disaster and scared the shit out of the Soviets. But that appealed to him. Yeah, most of the stuff was just done by his aides, by the core group in the cabinet, by the higher ranking officials.
And that's always the case, really, though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Not really.
The president never actually does anything.
There's a different.
There's
Okay,
just a figurehead
but
for what gets done.
he makes decisions. I don't expect the president to be actioning decisions, but he makes the decisions. You know, Reagan was not consulted on a lot of this stuff because he didn't need to be, and he didn't want to be.
Okay, fair enough.
And he fucked up the AIDS crisis, and he gutted the middle class, and he gutted the mental health, mental health facilities and funding and all sorts.
Mm. I mean, like most people in a position of authority, they neglect that section of, you know. Let's be honest. It's a theme. It's not necessarily him. It's a theme of.
I know, but he's just an asshole.
What do you make of? I've got a question for you. Who's been interfering in the American election?
Well, I mean, I've done a bit, obviously, but I think Labour Party.
Well, apparently, basically everyone has been. Even Bill Gates is getting in on it now. Apparently.
Well, if the Russians are doing it, fuck it, it's a free for all, isn't it?
You've got Musk offering money to people who register to vote. You've got Bill Gates donating money to Harris's campaign or Super PAC or whatever the fuck it is. It gets complicated. You've got Nigel Farage campaigning with Trump. You've got Labour supporters in their own time apparently going over and supporting Harris. You've got everyone's fucking getting involved in it, apart from publicly, so far as we can tell, any serious involvement by Putin. Like the worst thing he's done.
In on it.
No. The worst thing he said apparently is a joke about Kamala Harris, and that's it. Like he's a least involved person. We've probably interfered more than he has.
I've stuffed a few ballot boxes, obviously, but I saw a thing online that said that Trump had. It was like a conversation. It was in I can't remember his name, Woodward or Bernstein, one of their books recently. Yeah. That I can't remember what it was. Hang on, I'm gonna have to look this up.
So you see how long we gone? 124.
Well, I can't remember, but it was a conversation where basically Putin was advising him not to say something because it made it look really obvious that he was like interfering.
Oh, okay.
You know, I can't remember exactly. That's such a shame. I saw it on Reddit. It was like a proper book that had been published.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what we know about at the moment, it seems like he's the least involved person in the fucking interfering. Which obviously we know he's going to be interfering in some way, right? We know that. There's no denying it. It's fine. It's not fine, but it's like we know now.
Mm.
But like everyone else is sort of fucking getting in on it. Everyone.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck? When did democracy die?
I mean,
And where's the thunderous applause?
I don't want to be a fucking dick, but I'm gonna say, did it ever happen? Was there ever democracy in America?
Well,
Really, true democracy?
Have you seen that bloke who's like, we don't live in a democracy, we live in a republic, and everyone's like, well, no, we have both. As that clip has been going around.
Well, I mean, you can basically take out any year up to like 1960, because that was when the Voting Rights Act came into power. And even then, you've got gerrymandering and various attempts to deny people democracy and things like that. It's never full democracy has never existed in America. It never has.
No, it's true.
I dare say it's never existed here. You know?
Well, no, I mean your vote does not weigh as much as another person's vote, and thus we can't really have a true level of democracy, can we?
There's I've got breaking news.
Oh, go on.
Slowly breaking news.
Have they just announced that President Putin has in fact been interfering in the election? Because if so,
no. Are you familiar with the Menendez brothers? Do you remember me talking about them a little while ago?
Yes, I do.
And the awful Netflix series, which is shit.
Whilst you were in some South American country, it was for Lebanon, in which you became the priest fella, and you had to bless the thing, and the woman went in the pit with the cement.
That's right. Well,
you fed a bloke to a hippopotamus.
Apparently, well done. The Los Angeles District Attorney is holding a press conference regarding them.
Oh, okay.
He's going to give an update.
They're still in prison. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Apparently, he's been examining new evidence in the case, and there are three options. Number one is recommending that they are re-sentenced, which could potentially allow them to walk free.
Yeah.
Number two, recommending that they be given a retrial. And number three, recommending no change.
Oh, okay.
So this whole press conference could just technically be about him saying,
we stand by the decision.
They're staying. Yeah, we stand by the decision that was made in 1999 or whatever.
I don't know.
Now, he has said, he's noted that if the case had been tried today rather than 30 years ago, the victim or the outcome may have been different due to how society now views male victims of sexual assault. I don't know how much you know about the Menendez case, but they killed their parents, and one of the arguments that came out of the trial was that the dad had been sexually assaulting them.
Yeah,
or sexually abusing them.
We talked about that last time.
Yeah, up for debate. I don't know. Don't really like questioning that sort of stuff, but yeah. He says that he didn't believe the brothers were a danger to society, and quite frankly, they haven't been for a long time.
Okay. Are you live telling me what's happening at this place?
No, I'm reading. This is from like half an hour ago.
Okay.
It's one of those BBC Live things where they post every now and then.
Yeah, I'm ready.
There are some people in my office that believe there is no evidence of molestation. I don't agree with that. That's certainly the position that some people have taken.
Okay.
He's also up for re-election.
Oh, is he? Oh, you know. Yeah.
He's up for re-election. He's a progressive Democrat who is currently lagging behind his opponent.
Do you think this will help his stance in the Latino community?
I don't know. They were Cuban.
Does
Does that count?
Does that? I would assume that still counts as Latino. I don't know. You know.
Well, no lesser figures than Kim Kardashian and Rosie O'Donnell have publicly advocated for their release.
Oh well, let's do it now then. If Kim Kardashian wants them saved from prison,
Well, she campaigned to get that guy pardoned, and Trump gave it to her.
oh, Trump would give a lot of things to her. I don't think he'd give it.
I think. I think. I mean, those were really brutal murders, and they did it. I mean, look, you and I both have parents, parent in my case, that we don't get along with,
I don't get along with either of my parents.
and we have serious issues with. I'm sure we've both been in that position where we've been mistreated and wanted to hit back.
I mean, I repeat, I broke my mum's nose when I was 9.
Yeah.
No, 7. I was 7.
I think we can both empathise with that feeling, can't we?
Yeah, I'd say so.
But
Dad fucked me up big time.
yeah, I don't know. I think a lot is being put on the whole molestation element. To be entirely honest with you, I think it should be treated seriously. I don't know whether I believe it, to be honest with you.
Well,
I don't.
We don't have access to all the evidence that is in play.
No,
as such, I'm reluctant to make a comment.
I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I think it should be treated seriously and investigated properly. But I couldn't tell you for sure.
Well.
So,
Nobody said it was bum rape, Ben.
Okay.
I don't know, I just felt like quoting Peep Show.
Was that a Peep Show quote? I thought you were just being you.
No, when Mark gets raped by Natalie. So it's like, no one said anything about bum rape, Mark.
It's a weird storyline, isn't it?
It is. And it gets brushed under a rug. Mark is a victim of sexual assault and it never gets mentioned again.
He was raped.
I know.
He wakes up and she is raping him.
And he says he wants it to stop, which is, I mean, she shouldn't have started in the first place, right? But he made a point of saying he wanted it to stop. It didn't stop. That makes it rape. And they're all supportive of him, but nothing happens of it.
Hmm.
And he's made out to be the bastard when he gets called out. And she was in Doctor Who later. She ended up in.
Who was she?
Osgood? I think that's her name, isn't it?
Was she? I'm familiar with the character. Really, gosh.
Yeah, she was in Doctor Who.
Then let a rapist on Doctor Who.
A fictional rapist, to be clear.
A fictional rapist.
I mean, they let, they let Jimmy Savile on the BBC for how long?
Well, he was a good earner.
Yeah, well, maybe so she.
The press conference has begun.
Yes, I'm sure it has. We've only got 6% of his left to go,
Oh, lovely. You're doing a good old job with it, aren't you?
I am, yeah. Are you still enjoying the dings?
I am.
They're less frequent, but, Do you think you'd play it?
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, well, bear that in mind then if we're looking for games.
I mean, it seems easier than Viscera Cleanup Detail because you're just pressing a button, aren't you?
I don't even have to press it. I've pressed the right mouse button, and I'm not touching the mouse at all, and it's going on. I tap it, and it will stay on.
But tap to turn on, tap to turn off.
Yeah, I mean you can hold it down as well, but you can just tap it and it'll stay on. You just have to aim. You just aim the fucking hose. And obviously, you have to change your hose sometimes.
Overweight people on that podium.
I hope it doesn't collapse. 5% to go. Ding, 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 ding. 4% to go. We are flying through this now.
I think there's going to be resentencing.
I think there's going to be a retrial. A retrial that will ultimately lead to no difference. They'll be found guilty. Maybe the sentence might end up ever so slightly changing, but ultimately they're still going to be in prison. 3% to go. We are literally flying through this now. This is remarkable how quickly we're getting this done now that we're on the home stretch.
That woman behind him does not look happy.
Most people don't look happy most of the time. I have resting bitch faced. Bitch face?
Resentencing. One of them looks happy, the other one looks like she's going to cry.
I hope you at home, Mary, are enjoying seeing the hearing Ben report on this thing that came out about 4 or 5 days ago.
No, it's happening now.
No, but by the time the video goes out,
All right.
for God's sake, Ben, this is a thing we do. We often comment on the fact that we're live talking about something after the fact. It's not been that long that you've forgotten how we do things, is it? Maybe it has.
Yeah, the gist is their resentencing is going to suggest that they remove the murder, the life without parole, and do it just for murder. Which, given that they've served 30 years, you know.
Well, you know. And who'd have thought all it would take was a Netflix documentary thing? Or whatever the fuck it was.
And a politician up for re-election.
Yep.
No, I could see this being a good game to play, to be honest. We'll have to think about this seriously.
Yeah, well, have a look at it.
Are you bored of Sea of Thieves?
A little bit, because, I mean, we're not really doing an awful lot, are we?
No.
If we were properly doing stuff, then maybe I'd be a bit more interested, but we're just going for a sail, killing some stuff, and then stopping.
It's a bit samey, and the map doesn't feel too big.
I mean, the map's big enough for what we do. It's just...
You missed a bit.
I know what I'm doing.
On the left.
You don't have to get every last individual drop. You'll notice on the larger areas that you don't have to do them all, because it'll clear a bit. It will clear sections when you get enough of it done. So I'm just sort of doing the big sections, and then I'll pick up any little bits that I've missed after the fact. It's quite awkward as well, some of it. Fuck. One 1% to go, Ben. 1% of it's left to clean.
Nice. I bet it was that bit I told you missed.
No, there's at least 3 sections left to clean, because it has not yet. Oh, well, you know, there's a news alert here about how LA prosecutor has backed a resentencing of Lyle of Eric Menendez, who killed their parents in 1989. I wish I'd been getting told about that whilst it was happening.
I really fucking hate Keir Starmer.
Seems an overreaction. I didn't realise he was involved in most things.
Well, speaking of murderers appealing decisions, Lucy Letby, her appeal bid has been dismissed.
It has. I heard about that earlier today.
Yeah, she's never getting out.
Well, I mean, if she has in fact deliberately attempted murder or whatever it was that she's done, did she actually kill any? Supposedly.
Yeah.
Then do we really want her to get out?
No. No, she
Oh Christ, it's quite a few.
murdering 7, and the attempted murder of 7 more. She's only 4 years older than us.
And her body count's a lot higher. We need to step up our game.
Be for yourself, mate.
Well, you know. We're now at the stage where the fact that it tells us what we've missed is incredibly helpful, because these are the things that we've missed. So now we play the clean-up game. We finish cleaning up. I particularly like it when I do a level and the last thing that I have to clean are the bits that I know I've still not cleaned.
Mm.
Which is, it just means that I've not missed anything along the way. But it's so easy to miss stuff because some of it's quite fiddly. I saw that the chimney in the pumpkin shed still needs cleaning. Yep, there we go. When I did the subway, that happens. I'll show you the subway one very briefly.
Mm.
House entrance pillars.
Would you like another topic?
Yeah,
I've got 3 left. I think you've got 3 left, but I'm going to be playing the next one, so I might as well get through this.
That seems sensible to me.
Cynthia Ervio.
Never heard of
Yeah,
it.
that is. Well, they're making a film version of the musical Wicked.
Oh, okay. Yes, I nearly wrote this down actually.
She's playing the green one.
Yeah.
And
Elzebub or whatever it is.
Yeah, I saw on Reddit a tweet from her, believe it or not, where it said something like, "This is outrageous. This is horrible. This is cruel and terrible, and it breaks my heart that people are doing this."
I want to go on record here before you explain what it is. Some of it she's got a point, but some of it she needs to get a fucking grip.
Well, I thought. Well, we'll see if we're talking about the same thing. I thought somebody had done something horribly racist, and I thought, oh, that's fucking awful. How, discouraging and unpleasant. What a horrible thing to do. Basically, somebody had edited the poster she alluded to.
Yes.
I think a few days later, or a week later, I saw this poster, and what had been changed was that the film poster looks different to the musical poster.
Mm-hmm. And so they reworked the film poster to be more in line with the musical poster.
Yeah, essentially the hat is in the wrong. They've dipped the hat over the eye and moved the hand.
It's not even necessarily wrong. It's just different, and they've made a fan version of the movie poster in the style of.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is where I think she needs to get a fucking grip.
I saw that poster and thought, okay, what? This is. You've missed the point entirely here.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. Is she's not grasped what's actually happened there, and she's taken offence to it, and needs to. I cannot stress enough. Get a fucking grip.
I mean, I can see how if you don't know the theatre, the musical poster, she might think, oh, they've hidden expressive parts of my face to sort of hide that it's me or whatever.
Black erasure and whatever,
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, that I can get that, but she mentions in the post, in the original post, it was an Instagram post. I was wrong, and I only saw the first half of this. She opens the third paragraph with the original poster is an illustration, so she's familiar with the original poster.
I cannot stress this enough. She needs to get over herself when it comes to that. Now, on the other hand, the idea of people asking her if her pussy is green, not okay. That is a highly inappropriate and a highly disrespectful thing for someone to do.
That's fucking horrible. Why are people doing that?
I don't know, but that's another thing that has apparently been done. And I completely understand her disgust and outrage about it. I get that. I'm completely on board.
Stupid.
I'm completely on board with her.
That.
But
fuck me.
But the fucking poster thing, she needs to get a fucking grip. Because
I mean,
if you overreact to something that you like that, then you lose some of the credibility when you react to something that you should react to.
It's a fun edit to make a movie version of the musical poster. I mean, her argument was that the original poster is an illustration. I'm a real life human being. You chose to look right down the barrel of the camera.
Yeah, something like that.
Who are you, the viewer? Because without words, we communicate with our eyes. She's arguing that hiding her eyes is erasure.
Yeah, and
which I could sort of see that if it wasn't a version of the theatrical musical poster.
Yeah. Again, it's
an overreaction.
It's an overreaction. She's missed the point.
Yeah.
And you'd think, realistically, she'd know better. Someone would have said something and been like, look, you know, actually calm down. But no, it seems like they've pandered to a bit. Front turret weather vane. Oh, it's up there. Jesus Christ, I need to... You're going to need to crack out the... Oh, there we go. Well roof. Where's the well? I don't even remember seeing a well.
Well. Oh, well.
Is that a well? No, it's a cauldron.
Well, well, well.
That's not a well. Oh, it is.
Well, 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 well.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I guarantee it's going to be something that I've just not seen because I've not been that high up. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Conservatory windows and the house eaves. I might need to tell it to actually tell me which ones there are because there's multiple of each. I've just missed one. And then we'll be done.
Yeah.
Can you see one of these making a different colour?
No. No, I don't. You sure it's there?
It's what it says it's a conservatory window. So one of these conservatory windows is
Why don't you just
flashing.
spray them all? Maybe it's on the
this
roof.
one. It's this one. There we go. Yeah. Oh, you notice in the top left there's like a progress bar. When I find the house eaves that it is. I ain't been dropping no eaves, sir. I don't even know what house eve is. Like I know when I see it, but I don't.
It's a ceilingy bit, I think.
I think it'll be down this side, won't it? Yeah, there we go. It's that bit. Like if I hover over it, you can see the progress bar just underneath the name in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Job done. So you saw how dirty this was before we started. Now look at it. If I press escape, you'll see a time lapse.
Oh,
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
yeah.
And obviously, sadly, we're doing the back of the house now, so we can't see. I just want to. I'm going to show you in the career mode some of the things that we have done in the past, completed. So there was the van, a playground, a shoe house. I'm going to show you the shoe house because you'll like that one.
Oh, there you are. You look like a knob. But you're cleaning that shoe house.
Yep. Sold and all.
Give you that.
What else was there?
It looks beautiful.
There was the skate park. Oh, the skate park was fun. Took a while, but...
Well done.
Thank you. I'll show you one more.
But if you've got a steak part in Muckingham Recreation Road, you're going to get in trouble, aren't you?
Well, yeah. The washroom, I think. No, you'll want to see the health scouts as well, actually. The health scouts was kind of cool. This is the washroom.
God. Oh. That's nice.
And health scouts, I said, didn't I?
Yep.
Health scouts.
There it is.
Oh, no, I've got to show you one more, because this could be the one that makes you want to play the game.
This is what Henry's like.
The carousel. The carousel,
Yeah.
then. What could make this carousel harder to clean?
If it was moving while you were doing it.
You get an achievement for doing it whilst it's moving. So I was like, fuck that, I only want to have to do this once. So I left it running the entire time. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you could get some fun out of this game. There's quite a lot of levels just in the career mode, and that's before you get into the...
Well, that's worth noting. I think you may be right.
Oh, and the Ferris wheel was moving as well. I'll show you that one. That was hard work for Ferris wheel.
Oh, very good.
Slowly getting cleaner.
Oh. Right.
So yes,
you're calling it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has been about an hour and 40 minutes now. Oh, an hour and 50 minutes. So nice long video. Thank you for joining us. If you did, which you didn't, this may not be the last of it, by the sounds of things, but we will have to see. But for now, thank you. Goodbye. Please leave a comment like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Ring that bell.
I couldn't give a toss what you do. Bye.
Send Ben hate mail. Thank you. Goodbye.